Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Please have mercy, make me one of your men, cause my people lost. Try to take them where you found them. It's where you found me, but this earth is hell surroundings. Satan's head is everywhere.
We're glad that you have tuned in to our show today. We're going to start out in Luke, the 2nd chapter. Luke, the 2nd chapter, and Yahweh said to give the title of the lesson after we read this in Luke. Luke, the 2nd chapter. And we want to start at verse 40. Luke 2. And verse 40.
Praise Yahweh.
And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of Elohim was upon him.
This is talking about a child now, and it's a Hebrew child.
Yeah.
It says the Zakar grew and he waxed koach in ruach, strong in spirit, filled with kokmah, or wisdom, and the hain, or the grace of Elohim, was upon him. Let's read further so we can find out who this child was. Verse 41.
And when he was 12 years
Verse 41.
Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover.
42.
And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast.
All right, so now this child, it says his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the moed, or the kag of the Pesach. And when he was 12, so he's still a child, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the Passover to attend the Passover in Jerusalem. All right, verse 43.
And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, the child, Yahshua, tarried behind him in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it.
44.
But they supposedly had him to have been in the company, went a day's journey, and they saw him among their kinfolks and acquaintances.
45.
And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem, seeking him.
46.
And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions.
Now here is this child. It said his parents took him to Jerusalem for the Passover. Then they left out, and I guess they had a big company of people, and they figured their 12-year-old child was with them. But it says after 3 days, they went a day's journey out, and they said, oh, where's Yahshua at? Then they didn't see him, it said, among their kinsfolk. Then they were looking, they didn't find him. Then they came back to Jerusalem trying to find this 12-year-old boy. Then they said after 3 days they found him in Yahweh's bayit, Yahweh's house, Yahweh's temple.
Hallelujah.
In the middle of doctors. He's talking about black folks, people.
Smart.
Black Hebrews doctors. Both Shema are hearing them, and he was asking them questions. And then the doctors and everybody that was around him, the adults, were astonished at what Yahshua being or understand and what he amar or what he answered them. They were shocked. Like, who is this 12-year-old child? All right, verse 48.
And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee.
Sorry. 49.
And he said unto them, How is it that ye sought me? with ye, not that I must be about my Father's business.
Yeah.
Now, the title of the lesson is, how far away from the Father's business are you?
Uh-oh.
Amen. How far away from the Father's business are you? It says, when his parents found him, his mother, seeing him in the middle of these doctors and asking them questions, and they're talking to him, his mother spoke up in the temple now. Bon, son, why have you dealt with us this way? Snuck away, we thought you were with us. He said, your Abba and I, your mother, have been looking for you. And we're all upset. Now what this child responded was, how is it that you were looking for me? Why didn't you know I was at the temple? Didn't you know that I must be about my Abba's business, my Father's business? So the question is, how far away are you from the Father's business? The two English words, Father's business, are one Greek word, defined by Thayer's Greek lexicon as meaning from the root, literally, nourisher, protector, upholder, the originator and transmitter of anything. This is talking about the Father's business. The author of a family or society of persons animated by the same ruach or spirit as himself. One who shows himself as like another in ruach or spirit and purpose, as though he had inherited his nature from him. One who stands in a father's place and looks after another in a paternal way. All this is Father's business that he's talking about. A title of honor applied to a teacher as those to whom pupils trace back the knowledge and training they have received. Creator, preserver, guardian, and protector. All this is these two English words, Father's business. Let's read verse 49 again.
And he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? With ye, not that I must be about my Father's business.
Didn't you know? Don't you understand that's why we're here? He was only 12. He was saying, why are you looking for me? You told me my purpose. No doubt his mother Mary and Yosef told him how he was conceived and what the Malach said to him. So these two English words, Father's business, again, are one Greek word, pater. That's P-A-T-E-R. Found in the Blue Letter Bible at number 3962. It is a primary word which means a father, parent, generator, or male ancestor, referring to the father of Yahshua HaMashiach himself as one whom Yahweh has united to himself in the closest bond of love and intimacy. Talking about Father's business now. Is made acquainted with his purposes, appointed to explain and carry out among men the plan of salvation, and made to share also of his divine nature. That's what Father's business means, all this stuff. All right, let's read verse 50.
And they understood not the saying which he spake unto them.
Now here's a 12-year-old child talking to his father and talking to his mother. And Yahweh said they didn't understand what he was saying to them about the Father's business. The English words understood not are defined by Thayer's Greek lexicon to mean the man of understanding, Hebraistically equivalent to a good and upright man, as having knowledge of those things which pertain to salvation. The Father's business pertains to salvation. Let's go to Philippians, the 2nd chapter. But his parents didn't understand.
Right.
Philippians 2. So how far are you away from the Father's business? Philippians 2. Philippians 2. PH. Sounds like an F, but it's a P. So it says in Luke 2 and 50 that Yahshua's parents didn't understand what he was saying to them. You looking all over Jerusalem for me.
Right.
You should have just come to the temple. Why? How come you don't know that I should be about my Father's business? So that them not understanding, again, is defined by Thayer's Greek lexicon to mean that a man of understanding has knowledge of those things which pertain to salvation. Taking care of the Father's business pertains to salvation. Philippians 2. There are people that say that there are no works to do. But Yahweh said, you do have some work to do.
Yeah,
you have some things to do that pertain to your salvation.
All right.
And either you're doing them or you're not.
Yeah,
Either
right,
you're close
right.
to them or you're far away from them. How far away from the Father's
Yeah.
business are you? We need to always ask ourselves that question.
All right.
Philippians 2, let's read verse 12.
Hallelujah.
Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Verse 13.
For it is Elohim which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure.
Yes.
Now, so here in this verse, Yahweh is telling us, is Yahweh Elohim supposed to be working in you
Yeah, right.
to do his will and of his good pleasure.
Yeah.
So even when Yahshua's parents didn't understand, Yahshua at 12 years old understood that he was to be taking care of the Father's business,
All right.
because that's working out your own salvation.
That's it.
You know, Yahshua had to be saved too.
Yeah.
He had to work out his own salvation like we have to work
Right,
out
right.
our own
It's in the
salvation. I can't work it out for you. You can't work it out for
No,
me.
we cannot.
It's what I do as far as working out my own salvation that Yahweh is telling me to do it, to be about his business.
Right.
That does it for me.
That's
But
it.
you're on your own. You got to do it on your own. Let's go to 2 Peter, the 1st chapter. Even when his parents didn't understand, and there's some things that children understand
Yeah.
that their parents don't understand. And I've been told by some parents that their children ask them, okay, we going to the temple today?
Yep.
And the parents should be standing up like my parents did, even in the Sunday church, telling me, okay, you're going to church today.
Right.
But things are in reverse. 2 Peter, but Yahweh's back to put them in right standing and in right order.
Hallelujah.
Okay, 2 Peter, the 1st chapter, and let's read verse 9, please.
Thanks, Yahweh.
But he that lacketh these things is blind and cannot see afar off, and have forgotten that he was plunged from his old sins.
So it says that he that lacketh these things is blind. Now you read between verses 1 to 8 and see what Yahweh's talking about. He's talking about after you come to him,
Okay.
and then you out here floundering like you don't know what you're supposed to be about. Yahshua at 12 years old was showing people up. There are children now
Yeah.
showing adults up.
Yeah.
He that lacketh these things is blind. He can't see afar off, and has forgotten that he was purged from his old hatah.
Right.
Forgot what you went in that water for.
I know, right?
Forgot what the purpose was before you decided to go in the water. Again, the question is, how far are you away from the Father's business? You need to ask yourself now, because he expects you to be about his business. We're going to see where Yahshua not only knew at 12 he was supposed to be about the Father's business, but he commanded us. That's a command. Just like people say, well, there's only 10 commandments. No. He commanded us to be about the Father's business. All right, verse 10.
Wherefore, the rather brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure, for if ye do these things, ye shall never fall.
So if you have the Father's business close at hand and are not far away from it, it says, wherefore the rather. Don't be like the people that forget they were purged from their sin and what it was for. So they can become a Hebrew and stand up and say, I'm a Hebrew, so they can wear garb and wear fringes. And no. You got some business to take care of. The Father's business. You're in his employ now.
Right.
He said, so don't be like these people can't see afar off. They forgot the reason they went and got baptized. He said, wherefore the rather, do the opposite, Ark. Give diligence. Be about it. Be excited. Be enthusiastic about it. To make your calling and election sure. Make it be no doubt.
That's right.
Because Yahweh says in another part in Peter, if the Sadiq, the righteous, scarcely.
I know, right?
Scarcely. Sometimes people don't read that right. They say scarcely. No, he said if they scarcely, if they just barely make it into the kingdom, where are these people who are not doing what Yahweh said about his business going to appear? They're going to appear in the lake of fire.
I said,
They're
Yahweh,
not
tell
going
like
to
it
be in the kingdom
is.
at all.
Tell like it is.
So how far are you away from the Father's business? If you're far away, he said you better read about yourself in verse 9 and read verses 1 to 8 and see how you can get back close. He said, if you make it sure, nobody can take your place. You're so busy in there doing what Yahweh called you to do.
Right.
Employees can make themselves in the secular world invaluable. By what? Being in there and doing the job. All right, but if you slopping and half doing this and that, they can get anybody to replace you. Matter of fact, they want to get somebody to replace you. And Yahweh does the same thing. He don't let you slop around stuff.
Where you think they get it from?
He said, if you do these things, you shall never fall. So the English word calling, he said to give diligence, you be about it, making your calling and election sure. The English word calling is defined by Thayer's Greek lexicon as, in a technical sense, the divine invitation to embrace salvation in the kingdom of Yahweh, which is made especially through the preaching of the good news. The English word election is defined by Vine's expository dictionary of New Testament words as meaning literally picked out, chosen from, and gathered by Yahweh and Yahshua. The chosen, Yahshua is the chosen of Elohim as the Messiah. Election is also defined by Thayer's Greek lexicon as specifically used of that act of Yahweh's free will by which before the foundation of the world he decreed his blessings upon certain people. And that people is us.
Hallelujah.
And you got the devil got it so backwards. People think when they come to Yahweh, they're losing something. Oh, they're, you're being peculiar. You're being made a spectacle. That's just your deception, where you don't really realize who is calling you and what he's calling you to. Let's go to Ephesians, the 1st chapter. It said by his free will. He didn't have to call us. He decreed before the foundation of the world. Ephesians, the 1st chapter. He decreed blessings upon certain persons. Now, not that he's being prejudiced or limiting. He just knew who was going to obey him. He calls everybody. Everybody has a chance, but there are those that are going to respond and those that are not.
Praise Yahweh.
And bless Yahweh, we are among those that respond.
Yes, praise Yahweh.
Ephesians, the 1st chapter, and let's start at verse 4, please.
Praise the mighty God.
Accordingly as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love.
Hallelujah.
Having preordained us unto the adoption of children by Yahshua, Messiah, to himself, accordingly to the good pleasure of his will.
So who did the picking and choosing? Yahshua. HaMashiach. It says, according as he had chosen us in Yahshua before the foundation of the world. This is not something Yahweh's just thinking up overnight. This is something he's planned for centuries. This is something he's worked out from beginning to end. Now, either we realize how blessed we are to be a part of it, or we let it pass us by and be sleeping like the world and sleep on to the lake of fire. It says, he chose us before the foundation of the world for what? To be Kadash, holy and without blame before him in love or a have.
Right, right.
The reason that the Father's business is close to you is because you love the Father.
Hallelujah.
The reason the Father's business is not close to you is because you do not love the Father. You
Y'all
love
right.
yourself more than the
Right, tell
Father.
it like it
You
is.
love what you want to do more than the
Damn, you
Father.
go.
I mean,
Yup.
you might as well just face it. Quit deceiving yourself. If you far away from the Father's business, you love yourself
Yeah,
more than
right.
you love Yahweh and
Yeah,
what
right.
you want to do.
Yup.
All right, Yahweh said, just rip it off. Rip
Right.
just stop all the deception.
Right.
Either you're close to the Father's business and you're
Right.
doing it, or you're not. And if
Right.
you're not close to the Father's business, Yahweh just said, you're not without blame before Him in love. Now, He predestinated you
Yes.
to be adopted as His child. It said, and Yahshua's the one working with Yahweh. He's the one that chose you. And He said, it's good pleasure of His will. This is what He wants.
Yes.
But sometimes we as human beings in the flesh, we want worse for ourselves
Yes,
than Yahweh wants for us.
Yeah.
As well as other people can want some good things for us.
Right.
But we can't help them if they don't want the good things for themselves. And we have to realize that's part of the hurt of being in the truth. Because you want to help everybody. You want everybody to go to the kingdom. But you can't help people that don't want to help themselves.
That's right.
Let's go to Mark, the 16th chapter.
Y'all right. Tell it like it is.
Mark
man.
16. So now after Yahshua grew up, He died, He became the Savior, He did all the Father's business He was supposed to do. After He was resurrected, and before He returned to the Father, we go into Mark the 16th chapter. He gave us, His people, a command. It's not an option.
Okay.
A command. Mark 16. He commanded us, His people, to be about His Father's business.
Okay.
Just like He asked His parents. He died at 33 and a half, but He asked His parents at 12, what's wrong with y'all? I mean, He did it respectfully. What's wrong with you all? Don't you know? You should have looked in the temple first.
Right.
I'm about my Father's business. And guess what? Those of us that have come to Yahweh, we're about the
That's
Father's
right.
business.
That's right.
If you come to Yahweh and you're not about the Father's business, I say, pity on you now. I'm praying for you.
All right.
Because that's working out your own salvation.
Yes.
If you're not working out your own salvation, that means you're not doing anything. They're intertwined. You can't separate them.
Yes.
All right, Mark 16, let's start at verse 15. Now here's where
Hallelujah.
Yahshua commanded us to do the same thing. Be close to the Father's business. Don't be far away from it.
Right.
All right, verse 15.
And He said unto them, Go ye into all the world, and preach the good news to every creature.
Now that's a command right there. Go ye. The two English words, go ye, are defined by Vine's expository dictionary of New Testament words as being best rendered, as often as possible you do this. To go on one's way. Well, after you got up out of that water, your way was Yahweh's way.
That's it.
All right, you got to work your secular job and all that. But the bottom line is what Yahweh tells you to do, you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, right.
Being about His business. To proceed from one place to another. That's what that go ye means.
Right, right.
And it also is defined by Thayer's Greek lexicon as to pursue the journey on which one has entered.
Right,
and
right.
to continue on one's journey. Well, if you don't even realize you're supposed to be about the Father's business, how you going to go on the journey?
Right.
You got people breaking the Shabbat, working on the Shabbat, talking about, yeah, well, you know, and I need to, get paid. Yahweh paying you, fool.
Right.
How in the world you think Yahweh not paying you?
Right.
He said that don't be as one of those that's thinking that you laboring for Yahweh in vain. You're doing Yahweh's business in vain.
Yeah.
Those people are deceived.
Right.
And for somebody to break the Shabbat after Yahweh told you to honor His first holy day,
Yes.
that means you don't understand because you're thinking, oh, I'm getting paid to
Right.
work. No, you're not. You're paying your dues in the lake of fire to
Yeah.
work on the Shabbat.
That's
But
right.
that's just how the devil has deceived people
Yeah.
to not realize. He said to pursue your journey on which you've entered.
Right.
You went in that water and you got up. You're on a different journey now.
That's right.
You're still going to do some natural stuff, which to survive we do.
Yeah.
But your real journey is on the pathway to the kingdom. Taking care of Yahweh's business.
Yes.
All right, verse 16.
He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be judged.
Shall be damned. Yeah. He said, if you believe, this is a command, and I'm telling you to go and to be about my Father's business like I was. I started at 12.
Yes.
All right. We don't know how many of his little friends he was talking to. Telling them scripture. All right. But he said, if you believe me and you baptize and you work out your own salvation, staying close to the Father's business, you will be saved. Now you are saved, but at the same time you're working out your salvation.
Yeah.
Because being human, you can listen to your stupid mind,
Right.
which is your flesh mind,
Right.
and you can fall away, and you can turn your back on Yahweh.
Right.
Don't do that now. It's up to you. Don't do that. He said, if you're baptized, you shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned or sent to the lake of fire. All right, let's skip down to verse 19.
So
Praise
then
Yahweh.
after the master had spoken unto them, he was received up and into heaven, and sat on the right hand of Elohim.
Verse 20.
And they went forth and preached everywhere, the master working with them and confirming the word with signs following. Amen.
Amen. So after Yahshua had commanded them, because remember now, when Yahweh speaks or Yahshua speaks, it's a command.
Right.
It's not a multiple choice. Okay, if you feel like doing A, B, C. If you feel like it, you're going to feel like going into the lake of fire. After Yahshua had commanded them, he was received up into Shemaiah and sat on the main hand of Elohim or Yahweh. And they went forth, just like we're going forth, the ones that understand, hey, I'm working out my own salvation.
Yes, I am.
And Yahweh told me to tell you, you need to be working yours out.
That's right.
Yes. Praise Yahweh.
They preached everywhere, Yahweh everywhere, Yahweh working with them and confirming the Debar with signs following. Amen. So what they were saying was from Yahweh's word. What they were doing was from Yahweh's word. Then Yahweh watched over it and confirmed it. Why? Because they're in his factory. They're in his office working. I might wake up at my house. You might wake up at your house. But after you came up out of that water, guess whose factory you're in? Whether you're at home or whether you're at the temple. And don't limit your obedience to Yahweh to the few hours you're at the temple every week. You're supposed to carry it wherever you are.
That's right.
And everybody does not have to stand up behind this podium.
That's right.
As the man said, if you don't have immunah or faith to do in your secular job and represent Yahweh, then you don't have the right immunah. Everybody don't have to come up in here and be a teacher or be somebody that's working at the house of Yahweh. No, he said take it out there and let them see what some of my people look like.
Hallelujah.
All right, let's go to Psalms, the 39th chapter. Psalms 39. So he commanded, go ye. He asked his parents, look here, how come you don't know I'm supposed to be I was in the temple? Well, you've been 3 days in the wrong place for. Well, now y'all got something off. Now you need to get that corrected. Now he's saying, okay, go ye. He's telling his people. So when you out there twiddling your thumbs, acting like there's nothing to do, or coming to the temple and coming up with ideas for the people that's already on their assignment, for you to have them work your assignment. Hey, Yahweh told you, he want you to get up and do it. That's your job.
Work out your salvation.
That's right. Psalms 39. Yes. Let's read verse 12, please.
Hallelujah.
Hear my prayer, O Yahweh, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner as all my fathers.
This is our life right here. We're not a part of this earth. We just happen to have been born on the earth. We're just passing through here. And here's the psalmist saying, hear my palala tifala, Yahweh, and give ear unto my cry. hold not thy shalom at my tears. Why? Because it's a hard knock life down here. It's hard, it's cruel. People are cold. And without Yahweh, that's why people commit suicide, get on drugs and do all kind of stuff to escape. It's a horrible life down here.
Yes.
Without Yahweh. That's right. He said, hold not thy shalom in my tears, for I'm a stranger with thee. We got separated by the first man and woman sinning.
Right.
We were born with that sin nature, but we made the decision to come back and get right. He said, and I'm a sojourner with thee, as were all my fathers.
Yep.
All of Yahweh's people. Now what's this sojourner? That English word sojourner is the Hebrew word toshab. That's T-O-W-S-H-A-B. Found in the Blue Letter Bible at number 8453. Is defined by Gesenius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon, meaning from the root to dwell as a stranger, to be an immigrant. You're an immigrant on the earth. You know how they have immigrants come into different countries, and then if you go to a certain country, you have to get your passport and all that other stuff. You're an immigrant in the earth. You're living in a strange country where you are not naturalized.
Right.
Now the natural man, he's still naturalized. He's still spiritually dead.
Yeah.
But you're no longer naturalized. You got your passport. You got your visa.
Right. To the new
And you've been translated into the kingdom
That's right.
of Yahshua, which is the new kingdom. All right. The theological word book of the Old Testament, and they use the letters T-W-O-T, deals with the Hebrew and Aramaic words in the Old Testament that have a theological significance. It defines sojourner and references in the Blue Letter Bible the Hebrew word bara, found at number 1254. And in the TWOT, or Theological Word Book of the Old Testament, you can match that up with entry number 278. All right, we're not going to read that entry. All right, Jeremiah, the 1st chapter.
Hallelujah.
So Yahweh said, you're a stranger down here.
Yep.
Pilgrim, you're just passing through.
Yep.
Now, you can pass through to one of two destinations.
I know, right?
To the kingdom or the lake of fire.
That's
It all
it.
depends on you. How far away are you from the Father's business? Jeremiah, the 1st chapter. So Yahweh sent Yahshua to take care of his business.
Right.
And Yahshua commanded his people to do the same. Now, we see how important taking care of Yahweh's business is to him. He calls people before they even conceived. We just saw where he said from the foundation of the world, none of us were conceived or even thought about except in Yahweh's mind.
Nope.
But taking care of his business is so important. He calls people before they're even conceived, before their parents even come together.
Praise.
Now you know that's important.
Hallelujah.
So for somebody to be far away from business and not realize how much he's put into getting it done,
Hallelujah.
you know that person is, what does they say, blind, naked, and in need of some serious eye salve, some serious ointment.
Yep.
Especially if you went down in the water and came up. Jeremiah 1, let's start at verse 4, please.
Hallelujah.
Then the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying,
Verse 5.
Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sacrificed thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
Now, he's talking to Jeremiah. He's talking to you too.
That's right.
Before your parents came together,
Yep.
and if you're a servant of Yahweh now, he had planned what he's going to do for you.
Hallelujah. Praise be to the
Now, it's
Almighty God.
on me and you to find out, okay, what's that plan, Father?
Yes.
Don't sit around looking stupid talking about, oh, well, Yahweh, he don't have no plan for me. I don't know what he said. You got his Ruach, and it is telling you, it doesn't tell you all at once.
Right.
It'll tell you, okay, do this right now. Do this a week from now. Just follow what Yahweh is telling you to do in his business. Your job will open up and it will evolve and it will revolutionize into what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Until you're doing what the Father called you to do in His fullness.
Hallelujah.
All right? He said that the word of Yahweh came to Yirmiyah telling him, before I formed you in the womb, inside the belly, the woman's womb, I knew you. He telling you the same thing.
Right.
Before you came forth out of her womb, I sanctified. I set you apart. I consecrated you for my purpose.
Hallelujah.
Again, our little pea brain, we can't comprehend that. That's why Yahweh gives us His Ruach.
Right.
To help us open up and understand and comprehend what He's telling us.
Praise Yahweh.
He said, and I ordained you. I set you up already
Right.
as a Nabi. But you still had to walk it out.
That's it.
You can't just pop up and, okay, Yahweh ordained you. Get your butt in this Bible and read and study so Yahweh can make you that. He doesn't have any dummies standing up talking about, I'm a prophet, and then you don't know the scripture, and you don't know how you're supposed to walk in love, and you don't know how you're supposed to represent Yahweh.
Right.
See, that's the part our flesh don't like either.
Right.
Well, He ordained me before the foundation, He called me before the foundation of the world, and then I want to sit on my hands and not study, and not let Him teach me and tell me so I can stand up and represent Him right. That's the devil. That's my flesh thinking I'm so smart that I don't need Yahweh to tell me how to do this thing. Yes, you do.
Yeah,
and if He doesn't tell you, then you're just going to be a big dummy all your life.
I know, right?
All right? And you're not going to do anything for Yahweh that's going to last. Let's go to Ephesians, the first chapter. He said, now I'm the one that set you up to be a Nabi or the prophet unto the Go'i, the nations.
Right.
Not just a few people. Ephesians, the first chapter. So this is not something that Yahweh has done overnight.
Nope.
He's put long and hard thought into this. He's put a lot of effort into this. And He expects you to do your best.
Yes.
Not that you're working for anything, but don't give Yahweh some slop like Cain did. Just dug some off the ground and said, okay, here, Yahweh, here's your offering. Well, I mean, you can do that, but again, it's going to turn out bad for you.
That's right.
You better give Yahweh the best that you can, no matter how small it is that you're doing.
Yeah, there's nothing too small.
Nothing. Ephesians 1, and let's read verse 11, please.
Hallelujah.
In whom also we have obtained an inheritance, being predestination, according to the purpose of Him who worketh all things after the counsel of His own will.
So He's steady telling you now, this is what you're for.
Right.
Yahweh hired you so you can work out Yahweh's will. He didn't hire you so you can get a big name and so people can know, oh yeah, you're on TV and other. That's irrelevant.
I know,
that has nothing to do with it. In whom also we've obtained an inheritance.
Yes.
That is, if we don't get kicked out of the will.
Right.
Yahweh's got a will, and you can be written in the will, and you can be written out of the will. It all depends on me, and I'm glad. It doesn't depend on you whether I stay in the will or get written out. It's each individual for himself. Predestinated.
Okay.
Again, before the foundation of the world, the purpose of Him who works all things after the counsel of His own will.
Okay.
In the end, Yahweh's will is going to prevail.
Oh, yeah.
In the end, it's going to be 100% the Father's business.
Yep.
Now, if you've been about the Father's business 100%, again, you got to work in the secular world, all right, because we're under the curse.
Yeah.
And the earth, yields up weeds and all that stuff. That means you got to go out there and get that paycheck so you can have some place to live and some food on your table.
Hallelujah.
Yahweh's still blessing you because He put the breath in your mouth and the strength in your body to be able to go do that.
Praise be to the mighty Yah.
But now, that other, what Yahweh said for you to do, be about that 100%.
Right.
He didn't say be at the temple 7 days. We're studying this thing on Catholicism. He didn't say become a nun or a priest or you live at the temple for 7 days. No, He said you go out there
Out
and
to the world.
there you go. And when I tell you what to do, then you do it out there. Let's go to Judges, the 13th chapter. Judges 13. So the Father's business is so serious to Him, He gives the parents instructions for the children
Oh, yeah.
before they are conceived.
Right, right.
See, he's doing his due diligence now. It's on us.
Do our part.
Now, if I'm a parent and I'm having a child and Yahweh tells me something about this child before the child is born, I better do it,
Yep.
or else it's going to be bad with me. The child will
Always
still be born,
consequences. You
but
don't.
Yahweh going to have somebody else raise that child. Judges 13. Because he's going to get done now.
Right, right.
And has always, since this thing started with Adam.
I know, right?
And people say, okay, after Adam and Kawa sinned, he went to plan B. No, he's still on plan A. He knew what they were going to do.
Redemption of Adam.
Right. And people say, yeah, you know, when I get to the kingdom, I'm going to go to Adam and I'll ask him, man, you know, why'd you ain't going to ask him nothing. You just going to be rejoicing.
I know, right?
And you're going to say, hey, brother Adam, how you doing? So glad to see you. Hey, sister Kawa.
That's it.
That's your carnal mind. You ain't going to be
That's
answering
right.
nothing.
That's
Why?
right.
Because you understand, could have been Adam or Kawa, could have been Yasser, could have been
I know.
anybody.
Anybody down the line.
Those two, the man and woman, the first ones, all of them would have ate the fruit.
And that's what I remember.
There you go. That's ignorance, right? Like yes, that's ignorance, right? We're passing through ignorance.
That's right.
All right, Judges 13. Now, here we see Yahweh's serious about his business and giving the parents instructions
Okay.
before they even conceive the child. Matter of fact, this couple couldn't have a
Oh,
child.
yeah, that's right.
All right, verse 2, 13 and 2.
And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of the Danes, whose name was
Manoah.
Manoah, and his wife were barren and bare not.
Verse 3.
And the angel of Yahweh appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold, now thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive, and bear a son.
Wait a minute now. The Malach came to the Iyshshah. There was a certain Adam of Zorah of the family of the Danites, whose shin was Manoah, and his Iyshshah was barren and bare not. Couldn't have any children. And a Malach of Yahweh appeared unto the Iyshshah
Okay.
and talking to her. Just like Yahshua's mother,
Right.
Miriam.
Right.
The Malach came and was talking to her. Said, behold now, you're barren, you're not having children, but you shall conceive and bear a son. This is Yahweh talking.
Right.
This is Yahweh that causes people to bear seed. Now the way they get in it, if they out there fornicating and not married, Yahweh put that natural principle in there.
Right, right.
The sperm and the egg, if the man
Right.
come together
Right.
with the woman, the possibility is, because that's what Yahweh put it for.
Right.
All right, but don't be standing up saying, yeah, you know, Yahweh blessed us. No, 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 you got that of fornication.
Right.
The child is still, you understand, in right standing,
Yes,
because
Lord.
they're innocent.
Yeah, that's
But what parents do is on them.
Yeah.
All right? So he said, you're going to conceive and bear a son. Talking to the woman now. Verse
Right,
4.
And therefore beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine, nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing.
Verse 5.
For lo, thou shalt conceive, and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head, for the child shall be a Nazarite unto Elohim from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines.
Now, so you see how he's giving this woman instructions
Right, right.
before she's pregnant.
Right.
He said, you're going to conceive, but now this is what Yahweh wants you to do about this child.
Okay.
He said, don't drink any wine or strong drink. Don't eat any unclean thing. All right? He said, because you're going to conceive, you're going to have a son. Don't shave his head. For the child shall be a Nazarite unto Yahweh from the womb. And then he's going to deliver Yisrael out of the hand of the Philistines. So he's setting him up as a judge. Yahweh told this woman what the lifetime occupation of the father's business her son was supposed to be doing. All right, let's go to Numbers, the 6th chapter. So now, The father gives the parents specific detailed commandments before the children are conceived.
Yeah.
And this is a case of a Nazarite that we're looking at.
Right.
The English word Nazarite is the Hebrew word Nazir. That's N-A-Z-I-Y-R, found in Blue Letter Bible number 5139, or Nazir, N-A-Z-I-R, found at Blue Letter Bible number 5144. Jusinius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon defines Nazir, or yes, Nazir, both of them are pronounced Nazir, as meaning from the root consecrated.
Okay.
He telling this woman before they
That's
even,
right.
she
That's
even
the
was
age.
from the root, from the beginning.
Hey.
We were supposed to be consecrated from the root, but our parents got cut off from Yahweh, so
Right.
we weren't. But he's saying now, this is the commandment, this is the law concerning, in our nation of Hebrews, a person called a Nazarite. All right? Consecrated as a ascetic among the Hebrews who by vow abstain from certain things. Now
Right.
this is where you get this pagan thing.
All right.
Lent, where these pagan people
Right.
for 40 days they don't eat this and that.
Uh-huh.
Now this is in the truth of it. Nazarites abstain from certain things, and they are considered a prince being consecrated to Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Now we're in Numbers the 6th chapter, so Yahweh recorded the commandments about Nazarites
Right,
or
right.
Nazir by Moshe, Shemuel in the book of Judges, Amos, and Yirmiah or Jeremiah. Number 6, and we want to start at verse 1, please.
Hallelujah.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying,
2.
Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto Yahweh.
So here's Yahweh explaining it, and you notice now, when a man,
And
woman.
Right.
so you can have a male or a female Nazarite,
Thus says Yahweh.
and it doesn't always have to be from the womb.
Right.
Yahweh's saying they can make a vow.
Right.
And now he's saying, okay, if they make a vow to be a Nazarite for a certain period of time,
Right, right.
then this is what they do. All right, verse 3.
He shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine or vinegar of the strong drink, neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dried.
Verse 4.
And the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kennels even to the task,
The husk.
the husk.
All right, verse 5.
All the days of the vow of the separation, there shall no razor come upon the head until the days be fulfilled, in the which he separate himself unto Yahweh. He shall be holy, and shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow.
Now here's one place where we know these are black folks. Locks.
Right.
Although now you got some go weed.
Yeah.
You got this stuff all matted up. But it's something about you.
Right.
Black
Praise be the mighty Yah.
He's just saying now, separate. If you're going to do this temporary vow, but now we're talking about Samson, whose Hebrew name is Shimshon, Yahweh said from the womb.
Yeah.
So when he came out, his parents taught him and let him know you're supposed to be drinking wine, don't
Right.
drink no strong drink. You understand? So they told him these commandments and what a Nazarite was about.
Right,
So
right.
he would understand. All right? Until the age of 20. Now, the word when you're 18, you're grown, or 21, you can drink. Yahweh said 20.
Right, right.
So when you hit the age of 20, whatever your parents did or didn't do,
Right.
you better suck it up and say,
Right.
you know what, Yahweh, help me get over it.
Right. Praise the mighty Yah.
You got these people 30, 40, 50 years old blaming their parents
I
about
know,
what they
right?
did or didn't do. You better get over it, because now
Right.
you're responsible.
That's right.
They were only responsible from 0 to 20. All right, no matter how horrible they did.
Right.
All right, verse 6.
All the days that he separate himself unto Yahweh, he shall come at no dead body.
Verse 7.
He shall not make himself unclean for his father, or for his mother, for his brother, or for his sister, when they die, because the congregation of his Elohim is upon his head.
All right, so he's saying now this is serious. So Samson's parents told him all this
Right,
stuff.
right.
And he said he should not make himself unclean for his Abba,
All
his
right.
him, his Ab, sister.
All right.
I mean, some of us might have went to people's houses and we know what the dietary laws are. And they might have offered you some gumbo, and then you better find out what's in there. Oh, you know, it's chicken. Chicken, what else? Oh, we got some shrimp and you understand? But you don't have to be a Nazarite to refuse the shrimp. Yahweh
Right.
said, don't be eating that unclean stuff.
Dietary law.
All right? He's saying all the days of his separation. He said, don't come at a dead body. Don't do these things. So he's making the laws so that the Nazarite can do what they're supposed to do when they're vowed to Yahweh. And Samson had a lifelong vow to
Right.
Yahweh. All right, verse 8.
All the days of his separation, he is holy unto Yahweh.
All right, so if he breaks the separation, he's not.
Right.
All the days of his separation, in other words, following these commandments that Yahweh said a Nazarite's supposed to do,
Right.
he shall be holy unto Yahweh. Let's go back to Judges 13. So Samson's parents were told they would have a son, and he was be raised in line with the laws of a Nazarite.
Right, right.
And they knew those laws. They were Israel. They hadn't been anywhere and forgotten who they were, like we have.
Right.
Now Yahweh is showing us them again.
Right.
Judges 13, and let's start at verse 5. We're going to read
Hallelujah.
5 again. And it was very important now. We saw in Numbers, Yahweh said, don't let any razor come
Right.
upon his head. Let his locks, let his hair grow. In his European society, I'm thinking about a relative of mine, when they had a son. Every time I see that boy, his hair would be bald. Like, don't you? So they were thinking about, okay, if I go in and cut the hair, then, you know, this will save me a little money. So if I just cut it bald, it wasn't quite bald, but you could just see, like some color coming, you know, covering his head. I said, don't y'all know any other hairstyle? So he's a teenager now, so now he got his locks.
Praise Yahweh.
Judges 13, verse 5.
For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head, for the child shall be a Nazarite unto Elohim from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines.
All right, so now we're just reading and what the Malak told the woman,
Right.
that she was going to conceive and she was going to have this child, and so he's giving them the rest of the instructions. Don't shave his hair, don't, you know, cut his hair. As Shemites, I think we wait till about 2 or 3 years old and then start cutting the young boy's head for the first time. They look so cute before their hair gets cut. It says he's going to be a Nazarite unto Elohim from the womb, and he's going to deliver Israel out of the hands of the Philistines. All right, now, here's a smart woman. We just read that scripture last night, talking about as a nation, the children of Israel are in the position where children are their oppressors,
Right, right.
and the woman's ruling.
Right.
All right, now, here is showing us how to be as women.
Right.
All right, she didn't go telling all her friends. What did she do? All right, verse 6.
Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, a man of Elohim came unto me, and his
Countenance.
was like the countenance of an angel of Elohim, very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name.
Verse 7.
But he said unto me, Behold, thou shalt conceive, and bear a son, and now drink no wine, nor strong drink, neither eat any unclean things, for the child shall be a Nazarite to Elohim from the womb to the day of his death.
Verse 8.
Then more entreated Yahweh, and said, O Yahweh, let the man of Elohim unto us, and to teach us what we shall do unto the child that shall be born.
Now, he is a righteous man.
Right.
He didn't say, well, what you talking about? Tell me about
right.
No. Immediately after he heard,
Right.
then Manoah went and prayed to Yahweh.
Right.
And Amar, oh my Adon, let the Ahad Adam of Elohim, because angels come looking like men,
Right.
black men. They don't come look like little fat babies. They don't come look like women.
Right. So they you know, tell like it
The
is.
angels Yahweh sends to the earth look like black men. He said, let this, he talking about the angel, which you did send, come again unto us, and Yahweh teach us.
Yeah.
We have to be taught.
Yep.
We have to be taught. We can figure out some good stuff to do and to say, but why you want to do that when Yahweh said, look, just ask me and I'll show you what to do and say.
Praise the mighty God.
Teach us what we shall do unto the child that shall be born. So they received that. Hadn't conceived yet. But they said, you know what? I believe, Father Yahweh, it shall be even as it was told me.
Hallelujah.
That's what you call walking by imunah or faith, believing what Yahweh said.
That's
it's as simple as that. Believing what Yahweh said, and then saying what Yahweh said.
And doing.
If he said that you had the peace that passeth all understanding, don't come up in here talking about how your world is upside down
I know, right?
and nothing's working out right. Get your rebellious, doubting self, double-minded self out of here.
That's
and
it.
get in the Word and study.
Hallelujah.
So he's saying, hey, it's going to be, we're going to have this child. Father, I pray, show us how to raise this child. Verse 9.
And Elohim hearkened to the voice of Moses, and the angel of Elohim came again unto the woman as she sat in the field, but her husband was not with her.
Well, wait a minute, now you done came to the woman by herself again?
Right.
Wait! To the Iyshshah by herself again?
I know, right?
Elohim, he listened to the voice of her husband, Manoah, but the Malach came again unto the Iyshshah as she sat in the field. But her husband wasn't with her. And she didn't just sit down and say, okay, you know, just tell me how we're supposed to raise a child. No.
Right.
Let's see in the next verse. What did she do? All right, verse 10.
And the woman made haste and ran and strewed her husband and said unto him, Behold, the man hath appeared unto me that came unto me the other day.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Please have mercy, make me one of your men, cause my people lost. Try to take them where you found them. It's where you found me, but this earth is hell surroundings. Satan's head is everywhere, I flip a new page.